I do, because LeBron James had to do everything in the shadow of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan never had to worry about a comparison. And because I got to come out here every day, Michael Jordan would have never done this. Michael Jordan would have never said that.
That is
Michael
true,
Jordan.
True. Yep.
So, with that being said, now let this sink in. Michael Jordan had the luxury of going to college, spending 3 years with arguably a top 5 coach as his mentor and his head coach, Coach Smith, Dean Smith. LeBron James had the luxury of being raised by a single parent, moving place to place, living on a lot of different locations, getting drafted out of high school at the age of 18, coming in and saving a franchise. That's what he had to do. As a teenager, Michael Jordan as a teenager was at college, eating food in the cafeteria, calling his mom to send him money so he could buy stamps. LeBron James never had that luxury. And the expectations and the jealousy. Because when Michael Jordan got that shoe deal, they was like, well, okay, dude is flying through the air. Air Jordan it is. LeBron James came into the NBA, Skip. He had a $100 million contract, and he had never, ever dribbled an NBA basketball except at the scouting combine. Never in an actual game. So the jealousy was already there. At least the people started getting jealous of Michael because Michael was playing and he was doing things they had never seen. The fans were going crazy. I don't think Michael had people smiling in his face, all the while hoping that he fails. That's what LeBron had to go through and still currently goes through. I don't think all these players that be, Bron is in his corner that want to see him succeed like he wants to see them succeed. So I agree with everything. I don't really know everything that Rich said and without the context of what he's saying it in, but I agree. I believe the path that LeBron James has had to travel, because take it from a guy, Skip, I'm 3 years younger than my brother. So I always got the comparison. Now, I embraced it because I wanted to be like my brother. Everything that he did, every number that he wore, I got it. Every position that he played, I played it. I went to college, got my first college girlfriend, identical to what my brother was dating in college. Identical. Same hairstyle, same complexion, same build. Even the teeth were exactly the same. That's how much I wanted to be like him. I think LeBron wanted to be like Mike in sense of a brand, the fan adulation, but Skip, that's not what he does. He's a totally different player. Kobe, from the makeup, the size, the build, was more Michael than LeBron. LeBron build is more like Magic, tall, like 6'9", like Magic, but he's built like Karl Malone. But I agree with Rich Paul. And if you look at Skip, what he had to go through, the Bad Boy 2 Pistons, Sheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rip, Chauncey, Tayshaun, Skip, they had gone to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. We saw what they did to the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. We saw them go to a Game 7 against your Spurs, and LeBron broke them up. A little young kid, Skip, he's 22. He ain't got no business. He ain't got no business doing that at 22. What 22-year-old? Tell me the 22-year-old that's come in the NBA and did what LeBron. Magic. I only think I want Magic. Magic, the only one that can say, you know what, LeBron, I can match you step for step, bro. Step for step, because at 20, I won an NBA championship and I was Finals MVP. So I agree with everything Rich Paul said.
Quick point of order before I launch on this. As they said of Michael when he was at North Carolina, only one man in the world can stop Michael Jordan, and that is Dean Smith, who happened to be his coach.
But
they didn't let him do what he started to do when he got to the NBA.
Right, but Skip, that was once he got to the league. Nobody thought he had that when he was at North Carolina. Nobody saw that coming.
Because he was stifled.
We didn't know he was stifled at the time
until
he got to the NBA and he took off his rookie year and averaged 28 points a game.
Okay. Just for the record, for those who don't get this, Rich Paul is very close to LeBron because LeBron oversees Clutch Sports.
No, he does not.
He funded it to start it. You know, and I know he did. And Rich Paul runs Clutch Sports for LeBron. And they are also, obviously, the closest of friends and have been for many years. You know this better than anybody because you're the fifth horseman in that group, along with Maverick and Randy. Am I right?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, thank you very much. When I read these remarks from Rich Paul, and I do not condemn him for these remarks because he needs to say this because it's his job to say this, to support an attempt to convince the many billions of blind witnesses
Did
out
he
there.
lie?
Yeah, he lied.
No, he didn't.
He lied through his teeth on this one. So he says that the road was just as hard, if not harder. And I think the biggest reason is everyone wants you to do something the way somebody else did it previously.
Yes.
LeBron was a kid, and yet the media wanted LeBron to be like Mike. Stop it. No, 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 no. LeBron wanted to be like Mike. LeBron didn't just invite the comparison. He embraced the comparison because he chose out of high school to wear 23.
He wore it in high school.
He chose out of high school when I'm talking when he went to the league.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so he chose 23. You could have chosen 16. I don't know. You could have chosen anything, but you chose Jordan's number, and you adopted, if not stole, his pregame powder toss. That was his unique trademark. And you said, I'm going to do it because I got next. You invited the comparisons, and then you got crushed by the comparisons early on because be careful, young man, what you wish for.
Yes.
It's just hard. It's impossibly hard to live up to what that guy did. And LeBron tried, and he had tattooed across his back, chosen one.
Sports Illustrated for calling him the chosen one.
Okay, but did he have it tattooed on his back?
Yeah, because he the chosen one.
Okay, all right. You're asking for it. So don't say, oh, it was such a hard road. You paved your own road. You made it. You cut it right through the trees and paved it.
It was hard.
You said, I'm here. I've arrived. I'm the next Michael Jordan.
It was a hard road, but he smoothed it out. Like you said, he paved it and made it able for you to go called smooth sailing. He did that. He did that, Skip. You know he did that.
It was an impossibly hard road that he constructed for himself. And he began to fail at it because he kept getting to finals. And when you talk about hard road, you want to talk about the easiest path to finals in the history of finals. His whole career had been spent in the Eastern Conference, and it was the Leastern Conference when he was there. It was the Beastern Conference when Jordan was having to fight through it to get to finals.
Oh, my goodness.
And Jordan had to fight. All of Jordan's finals, quote unquote, happened before the finals.
If you don't mind me asking, how many Hall of Famers were on that Knicks team that he had to fight so hard to get over, to get through? How many Hall of Famers? Patrick Ewing.
It's loaded.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, John Starks.
Hall of Famers.
Keep on going.
Hall of Famers. What about the Big Three Celtics? How many did the Big Three Celtics have? They got three. Now, I know they got three in the Hall of Fame already. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. That's three. Rajon Rondo has an outside chance of making the Hall of Fame. Would we agree with that?
Are we talking about the teams that stopped Jordan in his young tracks?
Yeah.
That 86 Boston team, it might have been the greatest team ever.
Hold on. If you to go, you got to get past them. That's what you tell me about LeBron. You told me if LeBron was what I thought he was to be, he should have got past Golden State. He should have got past Tim Duncan Spurs. That's what you told me.
Game one against those 86 Boston Celtics, Larry Bird, your favorite player growing up, said...
It was game two.
Game two.
Yeah, 49, he had 49 in game one.
Well, I think it was after game one that Larry said it. Are you sure?
I'm almost certain.
Well, okay, after one of those...
I think he had 49 in game. He had 49 in game one.
Well, he said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Right?
Well, nobody ever said about LeBron that's God disguised as LeBron.
Hold on. No. So if he was God disguised, so how he missed the shot in overtime that would have won the game? God would have done that.
Well, he scored 63. Right?
In double overtime, yes, and they lost.
63.
Think about it. Now, you told me everybody has been beaten. When Devin Booker scored 70 and held up the 70 sign, everybody said, why are you holding up 70? You lost. When LeBron James dropped 51, 8, and 8 in game one, you lost. Michael Jordan is the only guy in sports history that gets lauded in a losing performance. We've never seen that before. We don't even talk about Tom Brady. You do, but nobody talks about Tom Brady throwing for 505 against the Philly in a losing effort. Only Michael Jordan has a statue built on a 63-point losing performance. LeBron James has had great performances in which he's lost, and we kill him.
Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs.
Whoa.
It's game over.
Hold on. So,
Stop.
so what about before he got to the finals? So
Yep.
what about those first rounds? Does not that count?
He ran into two of the greatest teams ever.
It doesn't
Larry
matter.
Bird
He's the
Celtics
GOAT.
and Isaiah's.
But you told me he's the GOAT. You told me he got to overcome that.
A book got written about what the
How
Pistons
they
were
whipped his
doing to
butt.
Michael Jordan, called the Jordan rules. It took a new set of rules to keep God disguised as Michael Jordan from doing that to them.
But you know what, Skip? You would have me beat. If he beat Magic, if he beat Prime Magic with Kareem and James Worthy in their heyday,
Magic was pretty good at that point. It was James Worthy and Byron Scott, and he beat them in his first finals.
Magic Johnson hamstring had fallen off the bone.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.